Well, for more on this, military analyst Rebecca Grant joins me now. She's the president of Iris Independent Research. Nice to see you, Rebecca.
Hi, good to be here.
All right, so Kim Jong-un is a ruthless dictator, a murderer who starves his own people. His military members have parasites in their stomachs. Is this so-called Olympic, this so-called sports diplomacy fooling the South?
I want to give President Moon a double gold for the diplomacy out of these Olympics. He's pulled off two really important things. First of all, he's been more than generous to North Korea and fulfilled some domestic obligations there. He took some heat for it, too. At the same time, he's been able to maintain that maximum pressure policy. So Moon has very carefully said that he's open to talks, but he wants the peninsular talks, the Indo-Korea talks, to lead to more talks on denuclearization and to include the U.S. So what he's saying is he wants to restart the six-party process or something like that. But he is the clear winner here, having been generous. He has more cards to play than he did at the start of the Olympics, and yet he's maintained the rock-solid alliance with the U.S. and our other allies in the area.
Well, you know, you're right. There were some domestic objectives there, and one of them, of course, is for the Olympics to go off safely and securely, and a lot of people believe that's why there was sort of this openness to the North, so that the Olympics could be a safe place for athletes to compete. But, you know, I want to ask you, do you think that this generosity is going to pay off? I mean, do you think North Korea is going to change its behavior?
I think it has a chance to pay off because we see an inkling of progress towards talks. But Leah, you're absolutely right, and here's what I'll be looking for as the Olympics wind down. One, what kind of preconditions will Moon set on a potential visit up north? And second, and really important, will Kim Jong-un start up with the missile tests again? He usually takes a break over the winter. In 2017, missile tests resumed in February, so I'll be very curious to see. Now, last fall, he hinted that he might be finished with his arsenal. And as we know, he's only tested that big intercontinental missile, the Hwasong-15, a couple of times. So from an engineering standpoint, there's a lot to prove out, but I don't want him to do those downrange telemetry tests and to try that non-lofted trajectory that's a more realistic warhead entry. We'd love to see him stop the tests, so will he stop after the Olympics?
Well, the general assessment from the intelligence community tends to be that Kim Jong-un wants to have a nuclear weapon capable of hitting the United States as a deterrent because he believes that we're a direct threat to his country. So, I mean, with more than 70 ballistic missile tests just in the past year, I think it's not really expected that he will discontinue those tests. But I actually want to turn over to cybersecurity because even as these Olympics were continuing, McAfee, a security firm, reported that the state-sponsored hacker group resumed its campaign of sending phishing emails out to basically target financial institutions. We know that the North has stolen millions of dollars from South Korean banks, and that they've also stolen Bitcoin from Bitcoin firms. What is your assessment of the cyber threat from North Korea?
Absolutely fascinating. North Korea was late coming into the cyber hacking game, but we've seen some very effective attacks. First of all, I think they will continue to hack right up through any negotiations that go on. We may denuclearize that peninsula before we see the hacking stop. But the very interesting point here, Leah, is that China is basically North Korea's internet service provider. We believe that the Chinese assist the North Koreans in this cyber hacking unit. So here again, the dilemma for China. North Korea used to be just a convenient barking lapdog for them. Now they're a menace, and China can't be the world power it wants to be with this maniac regime on its border.
Right.
So they have to get the cyber hacking under control, just like they have to clamp down on fuel and the other sanctions
And unfortunately,
areas.
it is not an easy thing to do. Rebecca Grant, thank you for your insight today.
Thank you.
Eric?